Imagine this. The man every Kenyan agrees is the president we need.
Matiang'i akishika mic anasema yeye ni mchapakazi. Very soon he is coming with his manifesto.
The disciplined reformer who fixed education, who stabilized security, who never once got entangled in a corruption scandal.
Kesho hizo TV zote analog zitakuwa zimezimwa. Wakenya wakifikiria ni mchezo, waliamkia blackout. Mtu alikuwa anafungulia TV, kila kitu imezimwa. Matiang'i's word.
Now has almost zero chance of ever becoming president. Not because of his failures, but because of two men. Two men who, combined, control the single most powerful voting bloc in Kenya.
Tukisema harambe, munasema usiguse mlima. Harambe! Harambe!
Their greed, their pride, and their inability to work together are about to deny Kenya the best president she could ever have.
You mean what you say what you mean. It's long since we had a government that you could trust. That's all that Kenya is asking.
Those two men, Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua.
Unajua amejua tumemweza na tumekataa wheelbarrow ile ya yellow. Sasa iko ka wheelbarrow anatengeneza ya blue. Anatengeneza ingine ya rangi ingine ya green ya nini.
Mount Kenya isn't just another region in Kenyan politics. It is the engine room of elections. Its sheer numbers have produced or broken precedents for decades.
I mobilized 4 million people from this mountain to make you president. I'll mobilize 8 million people from this community to send you home.
Whoever secures the mountain doesn't just gain votes, they gain legitimacy, money, and machinery that can tilt the entire race. Without the mountain, no candidate can realistically dream of winning State House.
Desperate people behave desperately. This mountain is gone. We understand how bitter he is, how frustrated he is. We can't help him.
This is why the tug of war between Uhuru and Gachagua is so devastating for Matiang'i.
Nyayo, 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 nyayo.
In 1992, the opposition had Moi cornered. Everyone believed his days were numbered. But then the leaders, each blinded by their ambition, refused to unite. They ran separately. They divided their support. And what happened? Moi, the man everyone thought was finished, walked back into State House with a comfortable win.
The biggest reason, the main reason why Moi was not removed in 1992 when we reintroduced multipartyism, the reason why Moi survived was he was underrated. Everyone thought he was gone. What will happen? Hakuna mchezaji atapeana mpira. Kila mtu atataka kuingiza kwa sababu hakuna goalkeeper.
That mistake cost Kenya years of lost opportunity. And today, history is preparing to repeat itself. If the opposition runs individually in 2027, with each region presenting its own candidate, Ruto will waltz back into power.
That's what happened with Moi in 1992. People could not unite to remove Moi. In any case, there was nobody to remove. Moi was already gone. So why would I unite with you to remove somebody who has already removed himself?
When there is no goalkeeper.
So if people think Ruto is so gone, so weak, yes. 8%, 15%, if that obtains and that thinking prevails in the country, none of these opposition figures will be willing to cede ground to the other. And therefore, all of them will dash to the goal. And Ruto will have the last laugh.
And the tragic part? It won't be because he's the better choice. It will be because greed blinded everyone again.
Aliibuka kwa kishindo baada ya likizo kwenye siasa za nchi. Rais mstaafu Uhuru Kenyatta akianza kwa kushambulia mabadiliko yaliyofanywa kwenye serikali ya Rais Ruto.
Uhuru Kenyatta has already done enough. He was president for 10 years. He has the networks, the wealth, the contacts. All he needed to do, if he truly wanted to help Kenya, was quietly support Matiang'i with resources and networks from behind the scenes. That way, Matiang'i could stand tall as his own man, clean, independent, and trusted. But Uhuru couldn't resist.
Many of the gains we had in the past have been eroded. Linda Mama and others replaced by new, untried, untested schemes.
He's coming back to active politics. dragging Jubilee into noisy wars and turning Matiang'i into a perceived project.
Is Fred Matiang'i a project?
Suddenly, Kenyans stopped seeing Matiang'i as the no-nonsense technocrat and started seeing him as Uhuru's puppet. Uhuru's record isn't king. His legacy carries debt, scandals, and bitter memories.
Uhuru Kenyatta amekuwa tu, na amekuwa betulia tu. Na amekuwa kipok the state chini ya maji kidogo. Until the state ilikuje kamwanika kwamba the Kenyatta family own expressway. All of a sudden, kijana Johnston Kamau akakimbia State House.
By forcing his shadow over Matiang'i, he poisoned the very purity that made Matiang'i appealing.
Pale kwetu nimekubalika. Yeah? Kwa hivyo mimi nikiongea, watu ya mlima wanajua naongea kwa niaba yao. Tunataka kujua kabisa huyu Fred Matiang'i amekubalika na jamii ya Omugusi kama kiongozi wao.
And then there is Rigathi Gachagua. His ambition is unmatched. Even after impeachment, he has clawed his way back as a force in Mount Kenya politics. Instead of working with Uhuru or stepping aside for a stronger candidate, Gachagua is determined to be the king, or at least the kingmaker.
Sisi pale mlima Kenya, tukiwa na huyu Justin Muturi, tumefukuza Kasongo, tumefunga, tumekuja na kifunguo.
But his refusal to compromise fractures Mount Kenya even further. Now, county leaders, donors, and grassroots operatives are split. Half look to Uhuru, half look to Gachagua. None are rallying behind Matiang'i with the unity he needs.
Na mimi hapo ndio niko na maneno.
Unashuku kwamba jamii haijamkubali?
Here's how this plays out. Matiang'i, after lacking the support of united opposition, decides to run alone with Jubilee Party. United opposition candidate wins the election, but not with the required 50% plus one. Ruto comes second, Matiang'i comes third. A runoff is called. Ruto convinces his brother Uhuru to come in this messy, broad-based government, with the promise to make Matiang'i the prime cabinet secretary or something similar. Uhuru obviously agrees. After all he wants is his interests looked after. Ruto wins the runoff presidential election, defeating the united opposition candidate. The result? Matiang'i's presidential dream collapses. The opposition repeats 1992. Ruto slides back into State House.
We're telling you, trust us. We'll give you our word and we'll keep our word. Trust us.
This is the tragedy. If Uhuru had stayed in the background and Gachagua had put aside his ego, Mount Kenya could have rallied around a single, clean, disciplined candidate. Matiang'i could have entered the race, not as a puppet, not as a regional project, but as a national leader.
And we will level with you. When it's not going to happen, we will tell you it's not going to happen. We will not lie to you. We will not verge or hide or hibernate or tell you stories in place of work.
With Mount Kenya's unity, he would have commanded fear, respect, and unstoppable momentum.
So, if we share the ideology kwamba William Ruto has to go, Uhuru Kenyatta cannot partake into that particular cause, because for him and his family, they have a lot to lose if they oppose the state, if they jump onto the wagon kwamba Ruto must go. Because William Ruto naye anajua pahali wa kuwafinya to submission.
Kenya is about to lose its best shot at a president who actually works, not because the people rejected him, but because two men, blinded by ego, chose themselves over the nation. Uhuru's greed for relevance and Gachagua's hunger for power are writing a dark chapter. And unless the opposition wakes up, history will repeat itself. And Matiang'i will remain the president Kenya wanted but never got.